Hey y'all, I'm Paula Deen, and if anyone knows what it means to be a working woman, it's me. So today, I want to share some of the delicious dishes that have kept me and my boys going through the busiest of times. But first, I want to show you how to make the very most of your local market. And then we'll head home and get going on our no muss, no fuss corned beef and cabbage. Next, I'm gonna bake a shrimp and crab salad that is simple and easy as 1, 2, 3. And finally, the side dish that no Southern family would do without, heavenly Hoecakes. So don't sweat it, gang. No one's going hungry tonight, 'cause the lady is large and in charge. Have you ever had one of those days where you feel like between your schedule, your children's schedule, your husband's schedule, everybody's schedule, you don't have time to get a meal on the table? Well, that's the predicament I found myself in today. And I've come over here to my pantry, and for some reason I've let it get pretty slack. So before I can cook this meal, and it's gonna be a quick one, I'm gonna have to run down to Trader Joe's. So y'all hop in the car and come with me. I need help today. I need help. Oh, I love these. I just love them, love them, love them, love them.
Hey, Paula, how you doing?
Hey, Glenn, how are you?
I'm very well, thanks.
Good to see you. I'm so glad that you saw me, yes, because I've had a tremendously busy day, got so much to do, and if you could help me find my groceries quick like so I can get out of here, I'd be ever so grateful.
Hey, I'd be happy to do that for you.
I need some frozen raspberries.
We can do that.
Canned shrimp.
Got that.
And canned crab.
No problem at all. We're 3 for 3.
Good, good.
Where should we start out? Hey, you're right next to the raspberries. You want to start out here?
You're kidding. That's great,
How
yes.
about that? We almost got bitten by the raspberries there. These are our frozen raspberries. They're actually frozen right out there, right almost next to the fields. It actually
Really?
locks in the freshness of them and preserves the vast majority of the nutrients in the fruit. It's fantastic.
So I'm as well off using these as I would be a fresh one.
I believe so.
Right?
Absolutely.
For certain
Especially for all the
dishes.
recipes, and you don't have to use them right now. You can use a little bit now and use a little bit later. It works out great.
That's great. How about 2 of those?
Absolutely, we can definitely do that. We'll get 2 of those. What else on that list of yours here? Let's see the
canned shrimp.
the canned shrimp and the canned
and the
crab.
canned crab,
Let's
yes.
go for it. We gotta go around the corner here. So we've got it right over here.
Great.
Quick, we'll get you in and out of here, no problem. Right over here, we've got the canned crab meats. This is a great product. This is actually 15% leg meat. This is like the most premium portion of the crab, so it's fantastic.
So it's not all claw.
No, exactly. It's not all claw. We got the great leg
Wonderful.
meat in here, which is fantastic. It's really hard to find that in canned crab.
Plus it'll hold in your pantry.
Absolutely, yeah, no problems at all. No time.
Right.
It's tough to find an expiration date on these guys.
That's great.
Yeah,
Quick
great.
meals.
How many of these do you need?
Let me have 2 of those
Alrighty.
and 2 of the shrimp.
2 of the shrimp. Fantastic. We've got the shrimp for you. Anything else I can get for you?
Nope, that's it. I'm going to do something the devil won't do.
I'm
going to leave you alone.
Leave me alone. Fantastic. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks, Glenn.
Take care, Paula.
Thank goodness for Trader Joe. I don't know what I'd do without him sometimes. And I even managed to find some beautiful purple irises at the store. Aren't they just delicious looking? Today's meal just happens to be one of my son's all-time favorite meal. I'm gonna cook up a corned beef and cabbage. I want you to look what sweet Michael did for me. Who said he was good for nothing? He put the bacon on for me. He's a hungry man, I think, don't you? This dish is gonna be so quick and so simple for us. We've got our bacon cooked, thanks to Michael. And we're gonna quickly just cut up our cabbage, just like this. I'm gonna cut it again. I'm gonna cut it in quarters and then work from the quarters. I'm gonna have supper ready here in no time. It's a very inexpensive meal as well. All right, we got our cabbage chopped up, and that was easy enough. I've got my grease from my bacon, but I like 2 different flavors in my cabbage. So, in goes some butter. I'm just gonna dump that cabbage right in there like that. This is just real easy this way, and it's a lot quicker. Now I'm gonna add just a little bit of water because cabbage contains so much water, so you don't wanna drown your cabbage. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt. We're gonna add a little bit of pepper. And we're gonna give that a stir. Just a quick stir because we wanna coat our cabbage in that seasoning, which is butter and bacon grease. And it doesn't take but a minute for cabbage. I like mine with some crispiness to it. I don't like mine cooked down to mush. And while that's cooking, I'm gonna jump on over to this next pot, and I'm gonna start on a dessert sauce for our ice cream, which is gonna be super simple. A little butter. I know y'all are surprised. Try not to be. 1 bag of frozen raspberries. And I've got some jelly, some currant jelly, and I'm gonna add about half of that in there. And because I like my desserts to be sweet, I'm gonna add just a little sugar, I think, to it. Now while that's heating up, I'm gonna come over here. I have a little cornstarch, and I'm gonna just add it to the rest of my jelly. And this is gonna be our thickening agent. And when that starts to boil, we're just gonna add the rest of this jelly into there, and it's gonna thicken it right on up. All right, let's step back over here and check on our cabbage real quick like, and it's ready for me to pop the meat on it. This is the way the corned beef comes, canned like this, and you can find it in your grocery store next to your tuna fish, the yummy Spam and potted meats, the canned shrimp, the canned crab. It's not a pretentious meat, but don't be so snobby now that you don't try it because it really is good, but it's extra yummy cooked this way. This is so simple. You just break it into chunks, just like that. Where if we had used a fresh corned beef, we'd be talking about 4 hours. So this is just really makes eating corned beef and cabbage real easy. All right, now I'm gonna take this bacon that Michael cooked for me, and I'm just gonna kind of cut it up and chunk it back in the pot. And I mean, I've got supper and it's been 10 minutes. I'm just gonna put the lid back on that and let that corned beef heat through and through. In the meantime, our raspberries are boiling over here. So I'm gonna add the currant jelly that has the cornstarch. Just gonna pour that over in there and let that come to a boil again and get thick. All right, our raspberry sauce is getting thick on us now. And I'm just gonna add a little orange juice. And while we're having supper, I'm gonna put this aside and stick it in the fridge until we're ready to eat. In the meantime though, it's only been 10 minutes and my entree is ready. So you know, ooh, hear it sizzling. So you know what that means. Let's It's time for me to taste. It's a belly pleaser. Stick around, because next I'm mixing up baked shrimp and crab salad, another 5-minute miracle. You know, these canned meats that you find in your grocery store are just great. What I'm fixing to do now is make that succulent shrimp and crab casserole from canned seafood meats. Can you believe it? So simple. We're going to start with a bell pepper, chopped onion, celery, mayonnaise, and we've got a little Worcestershire sauce, a little salt, a little pepper. Now I'm just going to mix those up and then fold in the crab and the shrimp, just like that. I don't think you can mess this dish up, do you? I mean, you see how simple it is. So that's it. And just dump it right down there in the bowl. So I'm just going to kind of pack that down in there. Just like that. Isn't that pretty? The colors are very spring-like, aren't they? Now I've got some melted butter here, and I've got saltine cracker crumbs. So I'm going to butter these. So we're all ready. Makes a great little quick, healthy meal. And that's it. It's ready to go in the oven. There's really nothing to cook in it. We're just going to let it get bubbly. And that'll probably take about 35 minutes. And look what I've got ready for us in this other oven. How tasty does that look? Speaking of taste, I think it's time. Piping hot shrimp and crab salad, only minutes to prepare. It's just glorious. And speaking of glorious, coming up next, I'm gonna cook the world famous Hoecakes just for y'all. You know, I could just talk forever about these Hoecakes. I almost don't even know where to start. There's so many things I have to say about them. We make them every day at the restaurant, and they're so easy to make. It's flour, self-rising cornmeal mix. Make sure you use a mix because it's a blend of flour and meal. We've got a little sugar, a couple of good fresh eggs, a little water, a little oil, and a little buttermilk. So let me tell you the story about how Hoecakes got their name. Hundreds of years ago, the field hands would come in from the farm and they would have a fire outside and they would cook their hoe cakes on the clean blade of a hoe. Unbelievable. I think that's so ingenious. Now, when you're mixing these up, some people like real fat hoe cakes, some people like a thinner hoe cake. I happen to like them kind of middle ways. So you'll have to just play around with your batter and decide which thickness you like. But let's try this one right now. I've got my pan getting hot, and believe it or not, I cook these in clarified margarine. Y'all write that down now. That's margarine, not butter. You won't hear me say that very often, but I like to use margarine because it doesn't burn as badly as butter. And I'm going to just ladle enough of that clarified margarine. So we're going to make sure our pan is good and hot and just right. All right, it looks like our pan's about to get ready. Let's see. You'll want to make sure that your pan is good and hot. And see, you've got to have enough seasoning in your pan for those hoe cakes to fry in. Or otherwise you would have you'd have more of a pancake. So I'm going to add just a little bit more margarine. All right, so we'll do another scoop. All right, let's see what this first one looks like. These bring back a lot of memories to people. I had a young lady in the restaurant one day, and there were tears glistening in her eyes. And she said, "Paula, I just want to thank you so much for this meal today." She said, "I could close my eyes at one point and see my grandmother in her kitchen and all of the family sitting at the table eating these hoe cakes that I thought I would never taste again." So I was so glad that I was able to bring them back to her just for a little while with a very simple meal. Jamie and Bobby's favorite way to eat these hoe cakes is right out of the pan, just covered in homemade pimento cheese. So you see there's no limit to a hoe cake. All right, I think these are about ready to come up. I think these little guys are ready to be tasted while they're piping hot. And I'll tell you, like my daddy used to tell me, do as I say, do not as I do. You might want to skip this step. I like to eat one with syrup. Oh, I never, ever get tired of them. If I'm able, when we come back, I'm going to put some raspberry sauce on some ice cream. Just a couple of quick suggestions for you. When you're shopping for your bacon, you might want to try different kinds. You can always choose from Canadian bacon, which is delicious. And then you've got thick sliced cured bacon. But I do love the black pepper bacon. It's so good. But I think my favorite bacon of all is the slab bacon that has a rind on it. But you'll have to get your butcher to cut that for you. You will never with a knife get it cut like it should be. And let me show y'all an easy way to make lardoons, which is nothing but diced bacon that's been blanched and fried. It's great on top of eggs or salads. Use your kitchen scissors. Makes it so, so easy. you're through in a jiff. And for those really, really busy nights, when you want to make that shrimp and crab casserole, put it in a disposable dish, feed everybody off of a paper plate, and you're out of there. I hope the next time y'all have one of those crazy, crazy days that maybe you'll remember one of the recipes that I made today, the shrimp and crab bake, or the corned beef and cabbage, or the Hoecakes, or this scrumptious raspberry sauce for your ice cream. I hope that you'll think about them, and if you try them, I think you'll agree with me that this dinner is a winner. So until next time, best dishes from my kitchen to yours.